I think it's been about a month and a half since my last upload. I did have to leave due to a family emergency and I was gone for at least 2 weeks. And then when I got back, I started having all of these kind of random health episodes. I was in the ER last week. It's been a wild ride, but I am finally back. I am feeling happy and healthy and so ready to finish this challenge. Here it is in all her glory. Now you're probably wondering, why are there 2 builds here already? Well, you see, I was a silly goober. I actually did build Mulan's house before I left, but I forgot to turn on my mic, so that would have been really awkward. But I didn't realize this until after I had built the next build. So you're gonna see like outfit changes and all kinds of chaos. First, of course, we've got to take a closer look at Mulan's house. I have the little spirit house in the front here to represent her connection with her ancestors. We've also got the dragon lanterns here. Unfortunately, we don't have a ton of Chinese cultural representation in The Sims, so I am doing a bit of a blend. We do have this gorgeous tea set with the dragon on it from Wedding Stories. We've got some pretty artwork, some red lanterns. This reminds me of the end of the movie at the big festival. We've got our kitchen over here with some more Chinese New Year stuff. And then these cabinets are actually from For Rent. I feel like they fit the vibe so well. And then over here, I had a little bit of extra space, so I thought I would do a little tea corner. Oh, I almost forgot the swords and shield in the entryway because she is first and foremost a warrior. And then in her bedroom, I decided to go with a different color palette to represent some of her other outfits that she wears. And then this bathroom is probably one of my favorites. It is so just modern and cozy. Now I'm gonna send you over to Past Me to build a certain someone's castle. We are so close to the end of this challenge. I'm not gonna go for the pink and blue Disney Parks version. We're gonna do the original blue and white. I think the most important thing based on the silhouette from the movie is having a decent amount of spires at varying heights. I think it's also really important to get these more boxy elements in the front and then the round towers behind. I'm just outlining the shape that I want first and then add a couple more of these spires in the back. Okay, now I've got to go back through and put all of these octagonal roof pieces, make them super tall and pointy, and put them on every single one. And then I was just looking back here, it actually might be the perfect place to have a little balcony. And then it gives us a little bit more normal space to work with. Now in the front here, I've got to do something a little bit strange with the roofing to get the right shape. I'm taking 2 of these half-hipped roof pieces and facing them towards one another. And then do the same thing with this half-gabled roof, pulling it all the way down to 1 tile, pulling all of the eaves in, placing it there and just lining it up with the existing pieces. And now we can just copy-paste that, put it on the other side. And now we finally have a really unique shaped roof piece. Now we just copy-paste everything and put it on the other side. And now we're going to do the same thing in the front here, just make this 2 tiles wide and make the pitch a little bit lower to create some different heights. Plain white brick and a bright blue roof. Now this is what's gonna make it really start to come alive. I'm using this fencing from the Castle Estate kit to create the battlements, which makes it look so castle-like. The kit also came with this battlement frieze. While I'm here, I might as well go ahead and get our matching columns. And then let's finish with a beautiful big door and so many windows. Now I'm just placing these tiny windows kind of staggered throughout these towers so that everything is not too uniform. Now I'm just taking this 1 tile platform that I've raised up a bunch of times and placing it right in the middle of the hole in this roof. And then icing on the cake, I'm just gonna put a gold spire on the tip of each of these roof pieces. I'm just using this to add a little extra roof detail, make it look more finished. I almost forgot, we obviously have to have some knights in front of the door. And let's make them gold so that we can bring some of this color down to the bottom. I think this is one of the most cartoony looking builds that we've done, but I think it works for Cinderella's castle. So if we're looking at the floor plan now, we've got got an entryway here, maybe a living room, a kitchen, and then a grand dining room, bedroom, and sewing room. Since this is our entryway, I'm actually gonna go ahead and change this to all white and introduce these really tall pink curtains that we see in the movie. Definitely not what I would have expected, but in the castle we have a lot of this pink color, purple, teal, and a yellow gold. Interior design is all about creating balance in colors, making sure you have all of the colors that you're using sprinkled throughout the room. Beautiful little entryway. I love it. Let's move on to this living room. I think I decided it was gonna be. Oh, and these little fleur-de-lis on these pillows are perfect. I also found this armchair that matches pretty well. I was gonna use this lighter pink because it kind of matches her dress from the beginning, but I think a yellow would be better for this room. This is more of a classic Cinderella color scheme. But we've still got a nod to the movie in this room, which I love. You know what? If you squint, they kind of look like mice instead of rabbits. Just pretend. Oh my gosh, the tea set matches so well. Did the Sims plan this? The rug and the tea set are from 2 different packs, but look how well they go together. Pretty sure Cinderella came from the 40s, so TVs definitely weren't a thing, but I think we can make an exception for a modern princess. That is so compact and fits really nicely right there. We can also squeeze a tiny little end table next to it. Oh, how cute! Just gonna add some more pink flowers to keep spreading those colors around the room. And I'll just add some cute little matching blue decor. Okay, next up, we've got so much space for the kitchen, but because I've used blue in this room, that means that I can use these counters, which have all the colors we've been using so far. And then to continue using those same colors, I'm gonna go with this fridge from Realm of Magic. Try to create my own built-in counter situation just by aligning these 2 counters, and then I'm gonna use Tool Mod to scale one down just ever so slightly so that the clipping isn't too bad. Oh, this is almost seamless. Now all we have to do is cover up these little gaps, which is super easy to do with kitchen clutter. And then I just need to size this down again, but first I'm gonna do the open shelving here. When I'm building, I just really enjoy adding personal touches and personality to a build rather than leaving it move-in ready. Cute! So we've got our work surface, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put the stove right here on the end. I think adding an island will also help. Maybe we'll go for a curved one like this. I'm not adding in another chandelier this time, but instead 2 of these lanterns. Ooh, and with all of this wall space, I can afford to do a really tall stove range like this one. And it's got the blue. How perfect! Kitchen and living room are practically finished. Shall we go on over to this dining room? We could have a nod to the ridiculously tall thrones in the movie and just have 2 of them like this. That's honestly so cute. I love that. Put another floral arrangement in the center. And then over here, I think it would be really cute, and it's just the right size if we add this record player. Exactly the colors we're looking for. Then I'm just gonna put together a really simple bathroom for her with really ornate gold details. Bathroom is done. That means the whole first floor is done too. Actually, you know what I should do to make sure this isn't floating in the middle of space? Let's put a half wall right here. Yeah, that's already so much better. Maybe we switch to pink up here to represent her first dress that she made, her mother's dress, but we do still have the blue accent. Cute! I also want to add this bow somewhere. Oh, let's put them on the windows. Wait, that is so adorable. And then hear me out. I know that Lucifer is a black cat, but I've got an empty space here, and the black cat doesn't really fit the vibe. However, the white cat is adorable. I actually think there is a white cat in one of the sequels. Ooh, and this new mirror from the Crystal Creations kit has the perfect colors. Yay! And then over here, we have just enough room for a matching dresser. I'm also gonna add this little mouse toy right next to a mouse hole in the wall. Now, I'm gonna do something similar in here. I definitely want to include a small desk. Okay, I finally decided on this. I really like the yellow. And then for the backdrop, let's go for something different. Exactly what I was hoping for. Okay. And then on this table is where the knitting supplies go, since we don't have an actual sewing machine. And we can add the cross-stitching supplies. Also add this yarn basket. I'm also adding this butterfly photo. Butterflies were a huge theme in the live action version of the movie. Then last thing I'd like to do is another bathroom. In fact, I might literally just make this a bathroom. So let's just make this little bathroom as luxurious as possible. Oh, even the monogram towels. Ooh, and it's been a while since I've gotten to use any kind of details like this. I know some of you have probably been waiting for this. We are adding a pumpkin. And that is it. We have finished Cinderella's tiny castle. We are down to the final 2 princesses. We're gonna do both of them, but we need to figure out who is going first. The newest princess, Asha, who actually has a cute little purple cottage. Once again, the best reference image that I can find is the Lego set. I'm gonna be emulating curved walls without actually doing them because curved walls are a nightmare. And then to make it easier on myself when it comes to roofing, I'm just gonna mirror this side. And then I'm going to mimic that layout on the top floor, but just a little bit smaller. This makes roofing this front section so much easier because all we have to do is take our little roof piece, place it, pull the eaves out, and voila! Same thing for these side pieces. So despite it looking complicated, this is actually a pretty easy roof. First floor is done, and now all we have to do is repeat it on the second floor. So we have to duplicate this piece and then connect it in the middle with a gabled roof, pulling the front and back all the way in, pulling the eaves in as well, and then raising it up until it is flat. We take that same thatched roof that we use on the other cottages and put it here. Now, this is the tricky part. We really don't have a ton of purple items in The Sims. These purple windows came with wedding stories. Wedding stories I've been using a lot more lately. I'm very surprised. I also really like bringing in this teal color because that sort of represents the kingdom. And that color is used a lot throughout the architecture in the kingdom. All right, now we're looking for purple exterior options. This is totally meant to be an interior wallpaper, but it's kind of cute. And then use columns to fill in the gaps. And all this empty space means we can add our own plants. A great opportunity to add in more of this pretty blue color. Another detail that I'm noticing a lot of are these corbels, which we can add to the sides that will also help with cleaning up some of that empty space. All of these teeny tiny little details really do add up. I think I'm gonna do a similar landscape that I did for Raya's house and Mirabelle's house with this jungly kind of landscaping. Let's add a cute rustic little bench out here. There is also, surprise, a wishing well. I'm gonna size this one down and make it more decorative. I'm gonna take the yellow version of these blue glowy things that we use for the Will-o'-the-Wisps and put them over here to represent the wishes. This won't show up until we're in live mode, but I'm going to add fireflies. And then last step, of course, is terrain paint. Exterior is all finished. That was easier than I expected. Drop a purple heart in the comments if you are enjoying this video so far. I'm almost sad that it's gonna be over. Then I remember just how long this build has taken, and I'm not as sad anymore. This is the finale that we all deserve. In order to have this open, I'm gonna have to make this, I guess, just a single wall. Maybe we could do a little hobby nook. Oh, wait, I have an idea. Why don't we go ahead and use the new Crystal Creations pack for the wallpaper? And then since we can't fully enclose this, maybe a couple of columns. Let's go with this kind of green color to match this window. I think it's a nice contrast to the purple window. This build is looking quite eclectic, but you gotta trust the process, okay? Why don't I put the bookshelf over to this side? Add in a cozy chair and this itty bitty little fireplace. I'm definitely taking some creative liberties here, but isn't it worth it? Now, I still do want to include the gem cutting station just because I think it's unique. You know what else would be so perfect for this? These string lights, because the wishes are shaped like little stars. I think I'll just change them to a soft white. And there we go. This corner's so cozy. Putting the couch over here, adding this really pretty painted coffee table. And finally, we will bring the purple back in with a vintage rug. I'm also gonna size down these lanterns and place them on either side of the couch for extra cozy lighting. There we go. Upstairs is all finished. Probably one of the most realistic rooms we've done. Looks like we actually do have plenty of room for a bedroom and a bathroom down here. I'm pleasantly surprised. Let's do the downstairs in her dress colors. We'll still have pops of this teal, but mostly purple is what I'm going for. I do want to use this gorgeous tile in the bathroom. I never thought I would find a good use for this ugly yellow and brown tile from High School Living, but it actually matches. And is this not a great place for a mirror? Ooh, this sink is looking cute too, with the little flower detail in green. Very surprised by this aesthetic, but it's working. And since we have some extra space over here, let's add this cute matching bathroom shelf from For Rent with the little green towel. And I think we go ahead and section this off the same way that we did upstairs. Actually considering switching out the columns to something like this because they gave a much more royal feel to them. And we can also hang a little light from there. Let's actually lower this just a smidge with Tool Mod so that it looks like it's actually connected to that instead of the ceiling. I think this would actually be a great place for the dining table. And I'll add in this light blue table to tie in the aqua and a giant chandelier. In order to balance this out, we do need a big floral centerpiece. These are perfect if we just size them down a little bit. I love the purple accents in them. There we go. Now this dining room is complete. Let's move over to the kitchen where I am definitely using this magic stove and these matching counters from Realm of Magic. It's like it was made to be there. And then with our little counter trick, we can have this kitchen wrap all the way around. And then the sink will go over here. Gives us tons of room for kitchen clutter. We actually don't have any matching upper cabinetry for these, so I'm going to use some cabinets from Base Game. And then on the sides, we'll do some pretty hanging plants, some more of those sconces. And then over here, we've got space for some knives, some utensils. Look at that. It's so natural. And we can even do the cutting board trick where you've got two different colored ones next to each other. How cute. Now, I think I also want to give her the waffle maker. She seems like a waffle girly. And then over here, let's have a little booked corner for all of the cookbooks. Half of them are written by Tiana, of course, because besties support each other. All right, now over here, I am fighting the urge to do open shelving, but I think I should just give in and make it happen because we know these shelves are going to look so good. It's now time for a cluttering montage. There we go, easy peasy. I wasn't gonna put anything here, but I'm kind of feeling like maybe a bar cart with a little tea set on it, just for fun. And it comes in blue, yes. Main living spaces are all finished. Finally, we've got this little bedroom. That's a good place to start. Oh, and we can finally use this wallpaper that looks like the wishes. Thank goodness. This is actually like my ultimate teen room. And since this room is giving such such big teen energy. Let's go ahead and add some of the items from high school years for clutter. Let's make this a combination homework desk vanity, and we'll put a laptop on it, but we'll also put some makeup over there. This little lamp with the floating star. Can't go without the cloud light in our cloud themed room. Since we've got the crystal table upstairs, I'm gonna put one of these in here. I'm essentially just making my own little gallery wall. And there we go. That is it for Asha. Move on to our final build, which is going to be Aurora! Who could have guessed it? The first thing that comes up when I search Aurora is Aurora Cottage, so I feel like we have to. So this is the shape we have to work with. This can also serve as my quarterly plea for fairies in The Sims. Please? Pretty please? No? Okay, maybe next time. Now we are embarking on a quest to find the perfect tree. Oh, this is gonna be perfect. What if we size it down and then raise it up? That is really cool. And I really don't mind this. You know why? Kind of looks like Maleficent's thorn. You know what I just thought of? What if we do this again, but with Disney villains? Hear me out. I wouldn't do 16 lots because clearly that was a bit much for me to handle, but we could do maybe 8? I can think of 8 solid villains that I could build houses for. Let's say if we get to 1,000 likes on this video, I will make it happen. And it won't take me 6 months, I promise. Now, I very clearly need to move this over so that we can actually access the build and maybe make it a little bit wider too. In fact, just to give it a little more fairy tale flair, because I feel like it's too basic. I'm using that trick to get us more manipulation points so we can make the roof taller, and it looks much more fairy tale now. Copy paste that roof piece to make this part much easier. Gosh, I just love it when these builds build themselves. Then under here, of course, we need to add an exterior trim. I'm gonna use the darkest green shade so it looks more worn. I'm already so in love with how eclectic this build is. I'm gonna use a bunch of these maidenhair fern plants to really give it that enchanted forest feel. It also gives a little bit of swamp energy to me, so I'm gonna add in these reeds because this is supposed to be like a pretty rundown cottage, so I think it makes sense to have some tall grass here and there. I'm also gonna add some shorter patches of grass around it, and then last but not least, these little granite falls blossoms make it feel so cottagecore and cozy. And then since she is always surrounded by animals, we're gonna add the rabbit hole, and I will also add the birds over here, and then just a really solitary path up to the door, and add some vines to help it feel more overgrown. I want to make this into a little ode to her origin, so we'll have a bassinet up here, not necessarily to be used. Let's also make the rug blue, and why don't we also have this room have vines in it as well to represent time passing and the curse. Go ahead and bathe this room in pink, and voila, kind of a sinister room, but honestly all of these fairy tales are really creepy. Now, we have to fit a kitchen, a bedroom, a bathroom, and either a dining or a living room in this tiny space. This is Sleeping Beauty we're talking about, so I feel like we should prioritize the bed. And then maybe we can design this like a studio apartment. And then across from it, we have this big fireplace with an itty bitty little TV sitting on the mantle. Here's a little builder's tip for you. In order to place this without it snapping, up here, I just filled the slots that it was trying to snap to with other items, and then when I'm done, I can just delete these. And since she was raised in the forest, I'm gonna give her this beautiful wreath with the blue accent. Also giving her this beautiful tree lamp in the corner. I'm just having it very subtly glow pink to bring out the pink tones in the wall a little bit more. So while they would have been using chamber pots, I want to give them a better life. Let's actually go go for blue instead since we have so much pink out here. Get this Victorian toilet from Vampires, and this gold ties in her crown. It's a nice way to tie in her castle aesthetic. Little hand towel, and you guessed it, it's time for our tiny house shower solutions. Now that our bathroom is taken care of, let's do the kitchen. I was definitely feeling worried about the amount of space, but it looks like we're gonna pull this off. So we've got team blue in the kitchen, team pink in the bedroom, and a mix of both in our living room. And we've got a lot of empty space here. Let's see if we can find a tile. Snap, it combines the pink and blue. And then you know what I've got to add? The stand mixer to represent that giant cake that they make in the movie. I'm also going to add this cross-stitched art to represent her pricking her finger. Very simple kitchen, but it suits her so well. I'm also gonna add this little fairy house outside for the 3 fairies. With that, we have completely finished the 16 lot build challenge. This is without a doubt the biggest build challenge that I have ever taken on, and the fact that we actually completed it after all this time is so incredible. Thank you all so much for coming along the ride with me. And before you think this is the end, just wait. I have so many build ideas I've been dying to work on. So make sure to subscribe if you want to see more. And let me know in the comments what you would like to see.